Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay P, and if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here before, hey girl, hey, nice to see you again. So today's video is mostly going to be focused on this beautiful soft glam eyeshadow look that you guys are seeing here, brought to us initially courtesy of Miss Jackie Aina. I saw this tutorial on her channel and I said, now that's what I needed, and I followed her tutorial and have now found this to be my go-to, probably low-key signature eyeshadow look now. So of course I wanted to go ahead and do it on camera for you guys, so I went ahead and did that, and I think it turned out absolutely stunning. So if y'all are interested in seeing how I got this look, then go ahead and keep watching. Yeah, without further ado, I'm not gonna hold you guys too long. Let's go ahead and get into the look, hun. Today I have really been loving the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. It just makes everything glide on so much more easily. So first thing I'm gonna do is brush my brow hairs up like that and really kind of work this in. And then once my brow hairs are all kind of brushed up, I'm just gonna take it and clean them up. While my brows are drying, I'm gonna go in with my primer, and for primer today I'm using my fave, you guys already know, the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and I'm just gonna rub that all into the skin. I probably should have used a smaller brush. Yep, should have used a smaller brush for sure, but that's okay. And then I'm also just gonna take it and bring it, down the lid as well. And this is gonna serve as a base for our eyeshadow. Now normally I would have filled in my brows at this stage, but Jackie didn't do that, so we're not gonna do that. She went right in with the shadow. And the first thing that she did was build up her brown shade. I'm gonna take my Supreme Nudes palette by artist Cotour, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Aesthetic, which is this really nice warm brown right here. It's gonna serve to be pretty much our transition shade. And at first, I'm just gonna press it to build up the color. And one thing that she mentioned is that she is not afraid to really take this up to her brows. So at the head of the brow, in the brow bone, like she's not afraid. So that's what I've been doing. Okay, now one thing that Jackie mentioned that I think really stuck out to me is, I think where I used to go wrong with soft glam shadows, I'm just gonna blend this out some more, but where I used to go wrong with soft glam eyeshadow looks is I was expecting this type of warm brown and then like a nude shade to pretty much create the magic for me. And she talked a lot about replicating like dimensions and utilizing different tones, and I didn't think about that. So that's what I'm gonna do here. So we've gone in with our light brown eyeshadow look. Now I'm gonna take a darker brown to create some dimension and really focus that in the fold right here. I'm just really gonna focus that there. So to create that, I'm gonna go in actually with this. I don't know what shade this is, but this is from the Huda Beauty Warm Obsessions palette. It is a darker brown, but it also has like some plum elements to it as well. I think that would be really, really nice. So I'm gonna go in and layer with that color. And I'm taking a smaller brush. This is my Morphe M456 brush. And with just the slightest amount, I'm just going to press that into my crease, my fold. And then the last color that I'm gonna go in with before we cut the crease is I'm gonna take this. It's like a burgundy shade, or actually no, I kind of want it to be a bit lighter. So I'm gonna go into my Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is her Rose Metals palette. I got this during the Sephora sale, and I'm gonna take my favorite shade out of this palette, which is this shade Dune right here. And y'all can see that's kind of like, well, on camera it's looking more terracotta, but it's really like a burgundy. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put that shade in between my warm transition shade and the darker plum brown that we laid down. I'm gonna go in with this LA Colors brush. This is, I don't know, oh, it's their 419 brush. I love this brush. And I'm gonna take this side, obviously I've used it, and I'm gonna use this to cut the crease. And for concealer, I'm just taking that Pat McGrath shade. Once I get to the outer edge here, I'm just patting this concealer in, by the way, guys. I'm not swiping. I'm not swiping at all. Just patting the concealer in to create that cut crease shape. I am on the edge. I am kind of dragging it up to create kind of like an elongated, lifted eye, if that makes sense. The key is to create your own neutral shade. Basically, the way that she explained it, it's like a lot of palettes, even though things are super exclusive nowadays, don't have that like nude that's perfect for dark skin. So she actually uses a setting powder. She used the Derma Blend loose setting powder in the shade Warm Saffron. And then she used a beauty blender to set her lid with. So that's what we're gonna do. It was a little weird, but I've been doing this now. This is maybe like my 5th or 6th time doing this eye look, and it's definitely one of those trust the process types of things. It's the Derma Blend powder, but any like, you know, powder that looks like this type of color will do. And you're just gonna press it over top that concealer. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but that's okay. I know you're like, but Lindsay, you just messed up the cut crease. That's not necessarily true, because we are gonna take that same brush. This is the brush that I went in with that Dune shade from the ABH, and you could just dust off the setting powder. And you still have your cut crease. So that's that. Now, to kind of correct this shade, because as you can see, because of the concealer and stuff that I use, my base now, my nude shade, is looking a little yellow, and we don't want that. So to correct that, I'm gonna go back into my Supreme Nudes palette, and I'm gonna mix 2 shades, Stripped and Exposed, to get my nude, you know, eyeshadow look here. Do y'all see the difference between this eye and this eye? It looks a lot more flattering. It's not as ashy as if I just would have went in with these 2 colors without putting this powder down first. I definitely think it would look a little bit more ashy. Now, here's where you can choose to leave it like this, but that same dimension that we created here, we need to recreate that again. So going back in with the exact same color combo, the aesthetic, I'm gonna start building that same dimension on my outer V. Make sure to angle my eyeshadow as if I'm doing like a wing, but just building up that color. Now that we kind of have our dimension laid down, I'm gonna go in with the black. Now normally black I would be scared of, but just remember, once you go put black eyeshadow on, you can't take it away. So add sparingly and just, you know, build little by little. So I'm gonna take Noir out of my ABH Soft Glam palette. Using the exact same brush, I'm gonna tap a little, tap off any excess, and we're just going to really lightly, I'm just gonna dab that over everything we just did. And I'm going to flick it into my inner corner. I mean, my outer V. Why do I keep saying inner corner? Into my outer V. We're just gonna flick it. I'm not really doing much circling or blending or anything. This literally is just to add the slightest bit of dimension. The slightest bit. So now it's time for eyeliner. And for eyeliner, I'm taking my Tres Luce liner. You guys know this is my fave. This is, I think, La Noche. Yeah, it's in the shade La Noche. That's the shade. And for liner, on the side, I am going to angle it up in the same way that I've been doing the shadow. But then when I bring it in, I'm gonna draw it straight instead of down, if I can. So taking this brush, I'm gonna go in with my ABH Noir, the black shade, and I am going to legit go over that liquid liner. This will soften up the edges, make it look more of like shadow liner, and kind of diffuse everything. So everything with this is really like seamless. It's more creating shape and dimension instead of like harsh lines. So that's what we want. That's why on this side, I didn't really care that my liner wasn't too perfect, because I knew I was gonna, you know, smoke it out with my shadow. And again, going back in with the same shadows that we used before, we're gonna go on top of that the black that we laid down, and this time I'm gonna go in with Mink, which is a dark brown, and on top of that wing, just follow the same thing I did with the brown, I mean with the black, but now I'm mostly just smoking out that shadow in a, not the liner, I'm not layering it, I'm taking it above the black shadow and smoking out the edges of that to create more, again, of like a gradient effect. Now taking the leftover concealer on my brush, I'm just gonna clean up the shadow so that it's really sharp. Now normally this is where I would go in and apply lashes, but I do have on the Kiss Falscara lash extensions and I think they look pretty good. But since we've been kind of, you know, doing eyeshadow, I'm pretty sure some of the eyeshadow fell on top of them. So a trick that I learned from a makeup artist is to take your spoolie and take a black eyeshadow and just tap it in, not too much. And I'm gonna do this before I put any of my, you know, cream and whatever down. And I'm just gonna go on top of it and literally place that eyeshadow on my lashes to disguise any fallout, but to make my lashes look super black before mascara or anything. That way in pictures, do y'all see the difference between this eye and this eye? In pictures or video or anything, the lashes really stand out. If you want, you can do this with your falsies too, but it definitely requires, or I would recommend, that you make sure you do your, let's go ahead and get into the base so we could really, you know what I'm saying, get the full essence of this look. So my face is already primed, we're good there. Oh shoot, I done messed up, y'all. Okay, we're gonna set the perimeter of my face first. You guys already know the deal. Nars color corrector. Just putting that where I have some discoloration, mostly around my mouth. That's about it. Taking my Laura Mercier medium deep, I'm just gonna go ahead and set my primer. To do this, I'm definitely going in with a powder puff a little bit and just setting where I did not place the concealer. I'm not gonna set my under eyes either, just the perimeter of my face, as well as my brows. Going back in with my concealers, taking that Pat McGrath and really focusing it. Just because I really need to finish this like all the way, I'm gonna take my Huda Beauty. This is her Tantour, and I'm gonna use this to sculpt out or kind of bronze the perimeter of my face. Now it looks pretty close to my skin tone, which is fine because it's just to add warmth. We are gonna go and add depth a little bit later, but that's another thing she talked about in her tutorial. When it comes to cream contouring, she's not going super deep anymore. She's just, you know, using it to build definition. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in with 2 though, because I definitely want some more sculpting happening. But for now, to, like she says, add just like color and tones and all that good stuff, this Huda Beauty is really good for that. And now for foundation, I'm gonna go in with my Nars Sheer Glow foundation. Did y'all hear that this was being discontinued? When I tell you I am pressed, y'all, I am pressed. This has been hands down my favorite foundation since I discovered makeup. My first trip ever to Sephora, this is the foundation that I bought. So I heard that they were discontinuing it, y'all, and I almost wanted to cry internally. I immediately got on Google and was like, okay, if they're discontinuing it, I need several backups, because no, just no. Somebody needs to start a petition for them not to discontinue this foundation. It's such a good foundation. Like, leave the classics alone, please, please, I beg. Knows if that's true, let me know. But I'm a little bit worried because when I went online to try and, you know, get a backup, it was sold out everywhere, y'all, everywhere. And I ended up finding a backup. I did. She's right here in this bag, but I had to get it from Nordstrom Rack, y'all. That's not a good sign. Not saying that there's anything wrong with Nordstrom Rack. I love shopping at Nordstrom Rack, but y'all know anytime a product ends up there, that's not a good sign. So hopefully they're not discontinuing it, but if they are and you love Sheer Glow as much as I love Sheer Glow, sis, go ahead and find your way to get your hands on it, because we might not be able to for much longer. But please, I hope they're not taking it away. Let me know down in the comments, do you guys think they're discontinuing it, or am I just being a bit dramatic here? I'm just gonna spotlight now with my Nars Creamy Radiant, and this is in the shade Biscuit. Just add a little bit of spotlight. that wasn't good. Y'all, I'm using natural light today, so sorry if the lighting is changing, but we're almost done, so hopefully y'all are good. So the skin looks really good. To set my under eye, I'm gonna go in with Good Old Faithful. This is my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder. This is in the shade 332 Golden Caramel. And I'm just taking a small beauty blender and just literally pressing that ever so lightly underneath my eyes. To set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with Maybelline Fit Me again, but this time this is my skin tone shade. This is Mocha. Yeah, the shade 360. And I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and just press it into the skin. How to build the sculpting of the face. So we are going to first use, where is it? I think I'm gonna first go in with this. This is my Glowish bronzer by Huda Beauty, and I'm just gonna take that and just tap it along everywhere we put the original Huda Beauty. That was not intentional, but they do work very nicely together. Boom. Now we're going to go in with Thick Mint from Fenty. Y'all see it's a lot deeper. Still bronze, but a lot deeper than the Glowish bronzer. And I'm gonna put that not quite in the hollows of my cheek, like I'm literally tapping it on my cheekbone. To sculpt, I'm taking my Loreal bronzer. This is the Fresh Wear bronzer, and this is in the shade Dark Deep. It looks like a bronzer in the pan, but as you can see, it's a little bit cooler than like this. Just a tad bit in the pan, but when I put it on my skin, y'all see? I'm focusing it here, and it's a lot cooler than the other two. This, I'm focusing pretty much in the hollows of my cheeks. So if I go like this, that's where this is going. At the top of my, I guess, jawbone. Yeah, like right here. That's mainly where this is staying. Blush, let's do blush. So for blush, I'm gonna layer 2 per use. I'm gonna go on with Tip. And then as a topper, I'm going in with their Shimmer Orange shade. It didn't break, it didn't break. Oh, thank goodness. With their Shimmer Orange shade, this is Peach, Maroon Peach as well. And just, now for brows, I'm gonna go in back with my Artist Couture palette, and I'm gonna take the shade Mink and use that as a brow powder. First thing I'm gonna do is obviously line my brows. And then start to fill them in ever so slightly. I'm gonna take my brow pen by Benefit and just flick some of those front hairs. This is in the shade, what is this? Deep brown. We're gonna layer the colors once again, y'all. So, but this time we're gonna work light to dark. So I'm gonna take that same brush that we were using earlier. this is just leftover shadow. Alright, for lips, I'm going in with, this is the Sephora Collection liner in the shade Molasses. This is such a good liner. It's so creamy and like the perfect deep chocolatey brown. And then to fill in the center, I'm gonna take this Urban Decay or liquid lip vinyl, and this is in the shade Pleased. It's a nude shade. Just focus that right in the center. This is cute. We could stop there, but we're not going to. I'm gonna take my dose of colors. Y'all know this is in the shade Can You Not, and just highlight the center even more to give my lips a really pouty effect. All right, my loves, this is the final look. I hope you all enjoyed it. Shout out to Aunt Jackie for breaking down this eyeshadow, because I don't know, I just feel like it fits me. I could easily wear this eyeshadow every single day, and every time that I've done my makeup to film or to go out, y'all know we're just wrapping up the holidays, this has essentially been the premise of it. I might switch up the colors a little bit, but I love this look on me. I think it fits my eye shape, everything. So this has been my go-to glam for the past couple of weeks since she dropped that video, and I'm pretty sure sis helped me find my signature eyeshadow look. So don't be surprised if y'all see this look again. But yes, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Smooches.